I was really surprised and impressed by the movie. It's not the type of movie I would have gone to see just on my own accord, which was maybe a big part of it. So I'm praying you're not going to rip it to shreds. But if you do, I will defend it.
Okay.
Manfully.
Well, look, armour up. For me, it's really interesting that throughout that interview, Ethan Hawke was saying this isn't really a biopic. It's a love story. Forget about the fact that this is about an artist. Mm-hmm. It's about this relationship with these two people. That's exactly what I felt while watching it. But for me, the art became this sort of elephant in the room that, why aren't you addressing this? I actually didn't think I knew who Maudie Lewis was before going in to see this. And it was when that picture of the three kittens beside the tulips, that's an image that I really remember. There was another one, which I don't think appears in the film, but of a horse and carriage galloping down an old-timey street. It was, again, I looked up and thought, that's who she is. So she has this incredibly distinctive visual style that you probably know, even if you don't know who she is. And the fact that the film just boxes this up and uses it as set dressing but nothing more, I found really, really exasperating. There's a film out in a couple of weeks called Final Portrait, directed by Stanley Tucci, which is about the artist Alberto Giacometti. And it's set over 15 days, I think, during the making of one painting in one room. And you come out of that film and think, do you know what? Even though that is a tiny, tiny sliver of this guy's life, I get him. I now can go to a Giacometti exhibition and completely decode that. And when a film that involves a real-life artist like Maudie Lewis, it doesn't grapple with that. I can't help but come away, even if it's not the subject of the film, I can't help but come away feeling slightly shortchanged. I think, this film is set over 30 years, so a very, very large portion of her life. And it requires two very technically difficult performances from both Sally Hawkins and Ethan Hawke, because, of course, they have to age, they have this incredibly difficult relationship. And both of them do a really good job of making these two characters pleasant to spend time with without sort of sanding off, getting rid of their complications. You know that they're both difficult people to live with, particularly Everett, who I think is significantly more horrible in real life than he is in the film.
Yeah, I imagine.
And also in terms of the physical side of it with the arthritis and stuff, Sally Hawkins does a tremendous job. She manages to reconcile it with a sparkle that I recognised from her work in Happy Go Lucky, the Mike Leigh film, a long time ago. Barely, I think, a week of my life goes past when I don't think about her driving lesson with Eddie Marsan in that film. I mean, it's just something that replays and replays and replays in my head.
Yeah.
So you have at the core of it this quite interesting relationship, but then afterwards you kind of think, okay, so we know that they had a difficult relationship and we know that she existed, but kind of so what? The way it matches the art to that, it kind of suggests that because he is nasty to her, she seeks solace in painting. There's this scene where he slaps her across the face and then she goes inside, pulls out a pot of paint, and it is that simple. She has a terrible life. She goes in, she makes it more colourful with the art. To me, that feels like a very, very simplistic way of explaining it. If you think about a film, another Mike Leigh film, Mr. Turner, where you get this sense of the actual flow of creative force through this guy's life. Peter Watkins, Edvard Munch as well, one of the absolute all-time great artist biopics. To me, for it to have not gone there feels like this massive missed opportunity. And, that's why there are so few great art biopics, because it's a very difficult thing to do. And the fact that this film doesn't do it, fine, but I was left wishing it had done.
Well, you're not saved by the bell, because I'm going to come back on the other side of the news and defend this movie.